Today, we're going to be talking about the French Revolution, one of the most important revolutions in human history. Now, we have to look at the causes of the French Revolution. The first cause we have are inequalities in society. So during this time in France, about 3% of the population owns more money than the rest of the 97% of the population of France. So there's a small group of rich people that own way more money than the rest of the people in France. And this is angering those people without any money. If we look at the social structure of France during this time, at the top of the pyramid we have the king. We have King Louis XIV and his wife Marie Antoinette. Now these two are living a very extravagant lifestyle. They buy whatever they want, they eat whatever they want, and they do what they want, okay? And these poor people are looking at them and saying, we don't get to do what they can do. This is making us mad. We're starving, we're hungry, and they get to eat whenever they want. Here is a picture of Marie Antoinette and Louis XIV. Now, next down the social pyramid, we have the First Estate. This is 1% of the total population of France. These are the clergy people. These are all the church people. They controlled 10% of the land. They didn't have to pay any taxes, and they didn't have to follow the same laws as everyone else. So that means they can get away with certain things as they wanted to. Next down the social pyramid, we have the Second Estate. This is less than 2% of the population. These are the nobility. These are the rich people. They pay very little taxes. They control most of the country's wealth. And these are the people who are in charge of the government and the military. These are the people who are making the laws for the country that are only going to benefit the rich, not the poor. At the bottom of this pyramid, we have the Third Estate. This is 97% of the total population of France. There's three different subgroups within this bottom part. We have the bourgeoisie. These are the factory owners, the merchants, the professionals. These people own the factories and make money off the people that work for them. Next, we have the sans-culottes. These are the people working in the factories or making the shoes or building the houses while the bourgeoisie sell these products and make money. And the third and last are the peasants and farmers. These are people at the very bottom. They had to pay rent to the landowners, and 1/10 of their income had to go to the church. So these peasants at the bottom are paying the most taxes, paying the most money, and they're the ones who are starving. And they see all the other people in the other tiers of the social class pyramid living it up and having all the food. This is going to anger these people. Another cause of the French Revolution was Enlightenment ideas. So there are these famous writers like John Locke, Montesquieu, and Rousseau who are writing books that are telling these people they should overthrow their government, limit the power of the king, and just get rid of an unfair government in general. And so the poor people of France and other people in France as well are reading these books and saying, we should do that, we should do that. And one thing that was created was this idea of checks and balances, meaning that each part of the government would check the other part and make sure everything was balanced. Now, we still use this idea in our American government today. Also, another really big influence for the French Revolution was the American Revolution. Here's a picture of the Declaration of Independence. The American Revolution influenced the French people to have their own revolution. They saw what the Americans did and they said, hey, if they can have a revolution against Great Britain and have their own country, why can't we do that against the rich people here? A third reason for the cause of the French Revolution was poor leadership. Now, during this time, France was in a lot of debt and they had to borrow a lot of money to spend on wars. King Louis wanted to fight a lot of wars with other European countries, and in order to get that money, he had to borrow it from other people or tax the people in his country. Louis keeps spending all this money, increasing the debt, and so King Louis says, I need to pay off some of this debt. So he tries to tax the First and Second Estate, the top tier people in the country. But these rich people say, no, you're not going to tax us. King Louis backs down because he understands that these people, he needs them. They're on his side. Instead, he heavily taxes the poor people, the people at the bottom. France eventually goes bankrupt. And a lot of natural disasters occur during this time as well. Hailstorms, droughts, harsh winters, stuff like that. This kills a lot of crops, and this causes a lot of the poor people at the bottom to starve even more. And this is when the citizens grow really angry and they want a revolution. Now, the revolution begins. So first, all three estates meet together to have this meeting. And the first and second estate doesn't want the bottom third estate to appear at this meeting to vote. So the third estate says, fine, we're going to form our own thing called a National Assembly. And they do that in June 17th, 1789. They form this new assembly and they say, we're going to create our own constitution. So they had this thing called the Tennis Court Oath, where they met up and they said, we're going to come together, create our own government, and we want a say and we want to change things. King Louis eventually gives in and allows a representative from each group to have a say. Here's a picture of the Tennis Court Oath, what it might have looked like at that time. In the next video, we will be talking about the storming of the Bastille.